You know, it's like clockwork. Every single spring in college basketball, a top coaching job opens up, and bam, one name just rockets to the top of every single wish list. And the wild part is, he hasn't even coached in years. We're talking, of course, about the perennial candidate, Boston Celtics president Brad Stevens. And this tweet from Barstool's Big Cat, it just absolutely nails it. It perfectly sums up the entire annual tradition. It's this dance that athletic directors have to do. See, the real goal isn't actually hiring him, it's about getting that official no on the record, just so you can prove you aimed for the absolute best before moving on. And the latest Blue Blood program to step up to the plate and take their shot? Well, it was none other than the legendary North Carolina Tar Heels.
So yeah, this latest round of speculation kicked off just like it always does, with a huge coaching change, this time down in Chapel Hill. Okay, so here's the quick rundown. After 5 seasons, the Tar Heels decided to part ways with head coach Hubert Davis. This meant that suddenly one of the most prestigious jobs in the entire sport was wide open. And who was sitting right at the very top of their list of targets? Of course, it was Brad Stevens. And just as predictably, the answer came back, and it came back fast. Reporter Matt Norlander confirmed exactly what everyone saw coming. Stevens had quickly taken his name out of the running. Look, it's not a surprise to anyone, but it's a really crucial public step. It frees up UNC to finally go after their actual, attainable candidates.
This whole phenomenon, it's driven by a pretty simple, unwritten rule in the world of sports administration. It's a mantra that really explains everything. So what does make him say no actually mean? Well, it's all about perception. An athletic director has to show their fans and their boosters that they swung for the fences, that they aimed for the absolute best. You can't get accused of lacking ambition, right? So once you get that rejection from the dream candidate, you're in the clear to move on to your more realistic list. And you got to understand, this call from North Carolina wasn't just some random thing that happened out of the blue. For Brad Stevens, this is a very, very well-established pattern. Just take the biggest example, his home state's Indiana Hoosiers. I mean, as the Indiana native who took Little Butler to back-to-back national title games, he is their white whale. Since he left for the NBA, he has turned down the Hoosiers job 3 separate times. So you've got the no to North Carolina, and before that, a whole trifecta of rejections to Indiana. When you look at the list, it paints an unmistakably clear picture about his intentions. So why does he keep saying no? What gives? Well, it all goes back to a huge career change he made back in 2021. After 8 really impressive seasons as the Celtics head coach, Stevens did something that shocked a lot of people in 2021. He chose to step off the sidelines and move upstairs, right into the front office, becoming the team's president of basketball operations. And let me tell you, that shift was fundamental. As a coach, you're managing the team on the court. But as president, now you're the chief decision maker for the entire organization. You're the guy who hires and fires the coach, and he's proven to be an absolute master at it, making these brilliant trades and roster moves that have built the Celtics into an NBA powerhouse. It was basically the clearest signal you could possibly send that he was done with that chapter of his career. So that should be it, right? Case closed. The guy is a top executive running a championship-contending NBA team. But this is college basketball we're talking about, and the rumor mill is absolutely relentless. And wouldn't you know it, a new name is already on the horizon. There are these whispers getting louder and louder that the legendary coach Bill Self might be retiring from Kansas soon. Now, if that happens, you can bet your bottom dollar another phone call is going to be made from Lawrence, Kansas, straight to the Celtics front office. It all just leads to the inevitable question. It's really not a matter of if he'll get another call, it's who. Who's going to be the next storied program to pick up the phone, knowing the answer, just to make Brad Stevens say no? But this really does bring up a bigger question. After finding so much success building a perennial title contender from the front office, has the architect truly closed the door on the coach for good? For now, the answer seems to be a resounding yes. But until he gets that championship ring as an executive, you have to think that door will always remain just slightly ajar.